it is the moment we and you have all been waiting for. Welcome, Joe Yock, to the show, Yock Talk, for our 5th annual Flames Fantasy Draft. You know, in years past, we had nothing to play for other than bragging rights. But this year, we have a trophy. It will obviously stay with me as I look for a three-peat. If you are unaware of what the Flames Fantasy Draft is or what is even going on right now, we have Matt Warner here to give you the rules of play.
Rules are pretty simple. Each of us will draft 5 players, 3 offensive, 2 defensive, no quarterbacks. Standard fantasy football scoring applies. The weekly scores throughout the year add up, with the winner, who gets that trophy, being the one that has the most total points at the end of the season. And one last note, we can make roster changes throughout the year. If there's an injury or after weeks 4, 8, and 12, those are the waiver windows. The waiver windows when we can make roster changes.
We all know that Joe Yock needs those the most out of any of us.
Stop making fun of me.
He has come in last place every single, I think.
4 consecutive seasons.
4 consecutive seasons. So we feel bad for him, so we're giving him the first pick in this draft.
Listen. There's a trophy now. I mean business. Okay. This has now officially become a business trip for Yock Talk. And with the first draft in the Flames Fantasy Football 2024, Yock Talk selects running back Quentin Cooley, Liberty University.
There you go. No brainer.
No brainer. Quentin Cooley is unquestionably the #1 overall pick for this draft. Last year, 221 carries for over 1,400 yards and a TD-making machine for fantasy points with 16 touchdowns on the year. Quentin Cooley, no doubt, #1 overall pick.
All right, so that comes to me now with the second pick. I, too, am going with running back Vaughn Blue with my selection.
That's
Remember,
my boy Blue.
He was the #1 pick in the draft last season, came out really fast as a true freshman. He had 50 yards on the ground on 4 carries, a reception for a touchdown in the opener against Bowling Green. Then he had the shoulder injury, missed 7 games, never quite got back on track. But he's going to be on the field a lot in that 2-back system with he and Quentin Cooley. And I think this is going to be his breakout year. Also, keep in mind, no Aaron Bedgood catching out of the backfield. You might see Vaughn Blue take some of those receptions as well. So he's my pick, my boy Blue.
I am sticking with the color theme, but as a true champion, I'm going away from the running backs and going with Julian Juju Gray.
Juju.
Let's go. He's an NC State transfer, junior wide receiver, but he is going to have a big role in the return game. #3 in the ACC, #11 in the nation in kickoff return. Just a lot of yards and points getting. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. We're trying to look at who's going to be that receiver that takes those deep threat like CJ Daniels. That's going to be this guy, Gray. All right, Juju Gray. A little birdie told me that the Flames could be throwing the ball a little bit more this year. So I'm not going with the running backs. I'm going with the wide receiver. Stays with me for my next pick. I'm going on the other side of the ball, TJ Bush. He's a defensive end, had a great freshman campaign. And once he's been in this, Chad Scott strength and conditioning program, I think he's going to have a much better season than he did last year. He was part of the CUSA all-freshman team. 32 total tackles, 11 solo. He ranked 3rd on the team in tackles for loss. So really excited. This season, he's going to have quarterbacks on the ground eating turf all around this country.
Yeah, TJ Bush is bulked up like Emily during the holiday season. That's what he's done.
You can't say that.
Listen.
You can't say that.
All right. Emily took a guy I really like in Juju Gray. Going to be a really good receiver, but I'm going to take the best receiver. And the best receiver on this roster is Treyon Sibley. He led this team in receiving through the first 4 games last season. You might not remember that. Then got a little bit banged up. Wasn't quite the same in the second half of the year, but had over 450 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. He has slimmed down heading into his senior campaign. And as a guy that's been in this offense and already produced, unlike really almost anyone else on this roster, they lost a lot in terms of the receivers. I think it's going to be a big year for Treyon Sibley. Joe?
Back to me. Listen. This
Joe hasn't
last
talked in a
pick
while.
of the second round.
This last pick of the second round. I'm going to go with, and folks, listen to me now. You remember at the end of the season, where did you hear it first? You heard it first at Yock Talk, baby. And that is that CJ Buzzell is going to be the best player on this Flames defense, and he's going to put up the best stats for tackles for loss, and he's going to put the best number of sacks up for this defense. I'm taking CJ Buzzell. Last year, 49 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks on the season. This guy is a guy whose numbers are only going to increase best player on the defense by the end of the season.
All right, so we stay with you, Joe. First pick of the third round.
I mean, come on. I mean, he's powered by Alcova Mortgage along with Quentin Cooley.
Yeah.
That's a good
right?
pick.
He
That's
shoots a
good pick. I can
flamethrower.
already
He
tell.
shoots a flamethrower.
I can
Right?
tell.
We're gonna go with the All-American safety, Brylan Green. Brylan Green with 6 interceptions on the season last year. This guy is a ball hawk already. We saw in the scrimmage on Saturday. Who does Brylan Green pick off? Oh, the All-American quarterback Caden Salter gets picked off in that scrimmage. So Brylan Green and Quentin Cooley, both of them powered by Alcova Mortgage.
I was about to say,
It's an
two guys
absolute-
powered by
it's an
Alcova Mortgage on Joe
absolute-
Yock's
as
team. This
they
thing is so rigged.
As they refer to it, it is the biggest no-brainer in the history of the world.
Yeah, it's a business decision
It's a business
for Yuck.
decision
All
also,
right,
man.
my pick in the third round, I'm finally going to the defensive side. Linebacker Joe Carter, Mr. Consistency. One coach said he's like Chick-fil-A. He's always right. And that's what he is. He's always right place, right time. Last season, third on the team in tackles with 59. He got better and better as the season progressed. No Tyron Dupree this year, who led Liberty in tackles by a wide margin last year. I think Joe Carter's going to be one of the guys that helps fill that void.
All right, I'm going back to offense. Elijah Canyon. He is a 6'4" receiver from Hollywood,
boy.
Florida. Lights, camera, action. This guy is going to be a tall target for Salter. Junior transfer from Purdue. We also played at Auburn. And when he was there, SEC honor roll. So this is a smart kid and a smart pick when Salter's spraying the field this season. Back to me, right?
Yeah, fourth round.
Let's go.
Fourth round. I'm going Mo Williams. Marion Williams. He's a junior corner from Cedar Hill, Texas. Been here at Liberty for, I believe, 3-4 seasons now. He finished last season with 37 tackles, started 11 contests. Big game in the Fiesta Bowl, 6 tackles and a season best 5 solo stops. He improved every season that he's been here, and he's going to have a bigger role this season. Mo tackles, mo picks, mo points.
That's pretty good. I honestly
good.
feel sorry for you guys as it comes to my next pick because I don't know if you guys are going to have any tackles left with who I have Joe
Oh
Carter
my
and I'm
gosh.
taking Taylor Jackson, the transfer linebacker from
this is a good
ECU.
pick.
Those two guys together, that might be 1-2 on this team in tackles when it's all said and done. He started every game for ECU last year, had over 50 tackles on the season. Those two guys are the leaders at linebacker. They're going to be in on every play around the football, and I'm going to take Taylor Jackson with my pick in the 4th round.
That was a good pick.
Well, I always got to go back to guys who have really cool nicknames.
That
And
is
most
a
importantly,
go-to.
nicknames that Yacht Talk gave them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Billy Cool Hand Lucas. Billy Cool Hand Lucas was a little on and off last year, a little banged up throughout the year, but I'm telling you right now, guys, this guy's got more shift than the William Byron 24 NASCAR. Okay,
You better hope the Flames are gonna run the ball this year, because
he's going to run the ball. You're going to be surprised at how many red zone touchdowns that he scores along with Quentin Cooley. Billy Cool Hand Lucas, a great name.
Another nickname coming in the top of the
And
fifth
finally,
round.
why don't we
Fifth
just
and final pick, Joe.
why don't we just back it up with another great name?
Let's do it.
Huh? Let's go with Take a Ride in My Bentley Henshaw.
Yeah.
Once again, another red zone tight end, another red zone scoring machine. Had 6 touchdowns last year, and only expect more and more from Take a Ride in My Bentley Henshaw.
All right, with my final pick, it has to be an offensive player. Going to go with a little bit of a wild card here. I'm going to go with the wide receiver Reese Smith. Transferred from West Virginia before last year, hurt his knee, missed all of last season. Shifty little slot receiver. When he's right, he's like 7-11. He's always open, and he's going to be open a lot for Caden Salter this year if he can stay healthy. That's my final pick. A little bit of a wild card, but I think he's going to be a good one.
We close out the 5th annual Flames Fantasy Draft with my final pick, Darius Copeland. This is a name that we've heard a lot during
Darling.
fall. What'd you say?
Camp Darling. That's what he's been. Yeah, he's a Camp Darling. That's a phrase.
This is my time
Go
to
ahead,
shine,
go ahead.
okay? I'm looking for the three-peat here. You can get your time whenever you
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
win. Redshirted last year, but as a junior in high school, 1,100 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns. He's going to do the same for me this upcoming season. Plus, he's a multi-sport athlete in high school. Baseball, basketball. You know that if he's playing multiple sports, but then he went with football, he's got to be pretty good. He's going to be good for my team. That rounds it out.
Yeah.
Just hand the trophy to Yacht Talk now.
No, this
Just
thing
do
is
it
staying
now.
with me all season long. Do we need to look at our
Take
final?
a look at the final rosters as we get set to head into the season. Should be a fun one. Follow along with us all throughout the year, and we'll see if Joe can finally win.
And don't forget, the Flames Central podcast will have more in-depth coverage of the Flames Fantasy League on that, so you can catch
Absolutely.
that each and every Monday.